Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to be going through my entire Hammer horror collection. So this was requested by Bushman Blue, who showed off his Hammer collection, which was a really cool video. Check out Bushman Blue's video, and I believe that Mark of Horror, he's done one as well, and he's got some great stuff too, so check out both of their videos on these collections. So yeah, on Bushman Blue's request, I've gone through my collection and found them all out. I'm not going to talk too much about them because there's a lot of movies to get through. I might say a couple of things about some of the films, but for this video I thought I'd just go through and show you guys what titles I've got. Just for the record, I do love Hammer horror. My dad introduced me to Hammer Studios many years ago, and I've loved those movies ever since. So yeah, cool video to do. So the first one is a double feature, and it's Countess Dracula and the Vampire Lovers. Both movies I really like. Next up is Crescendo, which is a little known Hammer film, but not one that I particularly enjoyed. It doesn't really feel much like a Hammer film. Instead of being set in England, I think it's filmed in the south of France, so gone are things like the Gothic castles and the dark forests and things like that. It's a very, very different feel to this one. Not one that I particularly enjoyed either. It's quite heavy on the melodrama too, but a Hammer film nonetheless. These are all in alphabetical order as well, by the way. So then we've got Dracula AD 1972, the one where they try and bring Dracula into a more modern day 70s setting. I thought it was pretty cool. Then we got Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. Don't remember too much about this one. A lot of these Dracula movies tend to mesh into one in the memory, but I like them all. Then we got Dracula, Prince of Darkness. I do love this one. I love the final confrontation on the frozen lake. That's really cool. Then we go from Dracula to some Frankensteins. Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. Frankenstein Created Woman. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. And then we've got a few Hammer sets. So we've got Hammer Films Icons of Horror collection, and this comes with the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, the Gorgon, Scream of Fear, and Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. And then these two box sets here, I've had these pretty much from the start of collecting DVDs. It was my dad that bought them, and I'm sure I'd be quick to remind me of that, but he bought them like from sort of day one of DVD, and I've never seen them ever since. So we've got Hammer Horror Originals, which has got Curse of Frankenstein, Dracula and the Mummy, and this is kind of what first introduced me to Hammer Horror, was these three movies. So we've got this box set, and then at the same time my dad bought another one, which is Hammer Horror Selections. And this has got The Devil Rides Out, Horror of Frankenstein, Scars of Dracula, Lust for a Vampire, and Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. But sort of really nice thick sets. But yeah, never seen these around ever since he bought them all those years ago. But yeah, really cool to have. Then we've got the Hammer House of Horror TV show. This was okay. I think Hammer were kind of starting to lose it a little bit at this stage. These didn't quite have the feel that the movies had, but still some interesting episodes in that. And then we've got this pretty nice Hammer Horror series set. So this has got Brides of Dracula, Curse of the Werewolf, which is what I bought it for at the time, Phantom of the Opera, Paranoiac, Kiss of the Vampire, Nightmare, Night Creatures, and Evil of Frankenstein. So yeah, this is a pretty nice set as well. Then we've got Hands of the Ripper. The original Dracula, Horror of Dracula, which I'd probably say is my dad's favourite if he was here to answer that. One of mine too. We've got Horror of Frankenstein, which is the one they did without Peter Cushing, but this had Ralph Bates instead, who I think did a fantastic job in that performance. Then we got Horror of Hammer. This is just a trailer compilation, and myself, I'm not a big fan of those, but it's a cool looking DVD. Bring these over. We got Hound of the Baskervilles, the Arrow release. Lust for a Vampire. The Man Who Could Cheat Death. Pretty interesting one with Anton Diffrin. Does a great job as the lead role. Christopher Lee plays a goodie for a change. And we've got The Mummy, one of my favourites. And then The Mummy's Shroud. And then we got Plague of the Zombies. And then one of the modern Hammer movies, they sort of have released quite a few movies in recent years under the Hammer label, and that's The Quiet Ones. This is a pretty decent movie, quite creepy. I enjoyed it. Then we've got The Reptile, another cool one. The Revenge of Frankenstein. The Satanic Rites of Dracula. Probably my least favourite of the Dracula movies, but still a Dracula film, so still cool in my book. And then Taste the Blood of Dracula. I think it's this one with Linda. Yeah, Linda Hayden pops up in this one. Got To the Devil a Daughter. Twins of Evil. Or was it Mary and Madeline somebody? Both in that one. Got Vampire Circus. And then finishing on two more modern ones, we got Wakewood, which I thought was good. And then The Woman in Black, which gets mixed reviews, but I really enjoyed this. I thought it had a really cool retro gothic look to it. So yeah, so that is, I think, all the Hammer horror that I have. There may be a couple more still on the shelf that I've missed, but that's what I got. So let me know what you think of them. Let me know which your favourite Hammer films are. I'd be interested to know. Thank you for watching that, and stay tuned for more videos.